Bubba Wallace just absolutely destroyed Carson Hocevar at Martinsville. And the wildest part is that he may have destroyed his own race even more, because this was not just another short track bump and run that fans forget by Monday. This turned into one of the biggest flashpoints of the entire Martinsville weekend. Late in the Cookout 400, Wallace drove into Carson Hocevar on a restart, triggered a massive pileup, went from a strong points position to a brutal finish, and left the entire garage trying to decide whether this was payback, frustration, or just a huge mistake that spiraled out of control. And that is what we are going to break down today. What led up to the contact? Why Bubba Wallace was in such an important spot coming into Martinsville? Why Carson Hocevar keeps ending up in the middle of these kinds of moments? What the wreck actually looked like? What Wallace said after it? And what analysts, media, and even Wallace's own camp had to say after the checkered flag. And then I want to get to the biggest takeaway of all, because in my opinion, this story is not just about Bubba wrecking Carson Hocevar. It is about Bubba Wallace potentially blowing up one of the steadiest starts of his Cup season. I'll be honest, when you first see the replay, it is hard not to have a strong reaction. It looks ugly. It looks emotional. It looks like one of those moments where a driver just decides he has had enough. But the reason this story is so much bigger than one replay is because of the context around it. Start with Bubba Wallace himself. Coming into this stretch, Wallace was quietly putting together one of his most consistent starts in recent memory. NASCAR noted after Phoenix that he had finished inside the top 10 inches, 3 of the first 4 races, and owned the series' second-best average finish at that point, trailing only teammate Tyler Reddick. By the time Martinsville arrived, he had been sitting inside the top 5 in points. And when the race ended, NASCAR's official recap said he had dropped all the way from 3rd to 11th after the crash. That is not a tiny swing, that is a huge hit to the kind of season he had been carefully building. And that is why Martinsville mattered so much for him. This was not some random bad day from a driver already buried in the standings. Wallace came in with real momentum. Even if his teammate Tyler Reddick was getting most of the headlines, Reddick had already won 4 of the first 6 races before Martinsville. Wallace was doing the less flashy but very important job of stacking points with finishes of 10th, 8th, 11th, 6th, and 9th before the Darlington stumble. Even after the 34th at Darlington, he still came into Martinsville in a meaningful position. The number 23 team did not need heroics. It needed control. And the frustrating part for Bubba is that there were signs this weekend could have been good. Official NASCAR weekend coverage showed Wallace topping Saturday's 5-0-minute practice session at 96.195 miles per hour. Faster than Ty Gibbs, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, and Todd Gilliland. So, from the outside, this looked like one of those tracks where maybe Bubba could finally convert speed into the kind of breakthrough finish that had been missing from his early season profile. Instead, it became the exact opposite. Now flip over to Carson Hocevar. This is where the story gets even more complicated. Because Hocevar is not exactly a passive character in the NASCAR garage, he has quickly built a reputation as one of the most aggressive young drivers in the field. NASCAR highlighted his 4th-place effort at Echo Park earlier this season as part of his rising profile, and his driver page shows another 4th-place finish at Darlington. Spire Motorsports was confident enough in what it saw that the team signed him to a long-term extension in February, locking him into the number 77 well into the future. So Hocevar is not some random backmarker that Bubba happened to run over. He is a legit young talent already producing results and already known for racing right on the edge. That matters, because it helps explain why tensions can build so fast around him. Hocevar's aggression has earned praise and criticism almost at the same time. NASCAR even ran a feature earlier this season about how his assertive style was fueling comparisons to Dale Earnhardt. Whether people think that is fair or not, the point is clear. Hocevar races with an edge, and drivers notice. So when Bubba Wallace later referenced not appreciating being put 3 wide into turn 1, it was not coming from nowhere. It was coming from an afternoon where, at least in Bubba's mind, the no 77 had already crossed the line. And then came the moment everybody is talking about. Official NASCAR coverage says the incident happened on a lap 324 restart in turns 3 and 4. The NASCAR highlight package shows Wallace making contact with Hocevar multiple times, and the written follow-up says the two collided to spark a multi-car incident. NASCAR's next 3 up, 3 down piece adds an important detail. After the initial contact, a stack up ahead of Hocevar contributed to Wallace hitting the number 77 again, and the damage from that contact plus the surrounding traffic, was enough to send Wallace to the garage. So the official version does not describe it as one clean shove and spin. It describes a messy sequence that got worse in a hurry. But let's be real here, even with that nuance, the replay still looked awful for Bubba. It looked like he entered the corner mad. It looked like he stayed in the throttle. It looked like Carson Hocevar became the target, and that is why the reaction was so immediate. NASCAR's own analysis segment after the race featured Steve Letarte and Kyle Petty discussing the clash under the blunt headline, "He absolutely meant to hit him." That does not mean NASCAR officially ruled it intentional, but it does show how strong the read was even from established race analysts immediately after the fact. At the same time, Wallace's explanation pushed back against the most dramatic version of the story. According to post-race reporting, Wallace said, "I misjudged," and added that while he did not appreciate the 3-wide move into turn 1, he did not mean to turn him. That is an important distinction. Bubba was not saying he loved the way Hocevar raced him. He was saying the retaliation-looking move went further than he intended. Whether fans believe that or not is a different question, but that was his version. And honestly, this is where I think the story gets really interesting. Because I do not think the full answer is as simple as totally intentional or completely accidental. I think it looked like a frustrated driver making an aggressive move he thought he could control, and then the moment got away from him. That is still on Bubba. That still makes it a bad decision. But it is a little different from calmly deciding to junk somebody on purpose, with no thought for the consequences. The official NASCAR detail about the stack-up ahead of Hocevar actually matters here, because it suggests the second hit and the scale